Desire. It is quiet at first, a thought, a pull, a feeling that there is more than where you are, more than what you have, more than who you are right now. Desire is not greed, it is not ego, it is not selfish ambition. Desire is the internal signal that growth is calling you. Before every achievement, there was desire. Before every invention, there was desire. Before every transformation, there was desire. Nothing moves without it. You do not wake up early without desire. You do not train hard without desire. You do not endure discomfort without desire. Desire is the fuel. But most people misunderstand it. They think desire is a wish. I wish I was successful. I wish I was confident. I wish I was disciplined. But wishing is passive. Desire is active. Wishing hopes. Desire commits. There is a difference between wanting something and deciding you must have it. Weak desire negotiates. Strong desire eliminates excuses. Weak desire says, I'll try. Strong desire says, I will find a way. Look at your life. Everything you truly desired strongly enough. You moved toward, maybe slowly, maybe imperfectly, but you moved. And everything you casually wanted remained a thought. Desire determines direction, but intensity determines speed. When desire is weak, distractions win. When desire is strong, focus sharpens. The problem is not that people lack goals. The problem is that their desire is not deep enough. They want comfort more than growth. They want certainty more than progress. They want approval more than mastery. But desire requires sacrifice. Because you cannot desire two opposite outcomes equally, you cannot deeply desire greatness and deeply desire comfort. One must dominate. True desire changes behavior. If someone truly desires health, they adjust habits. If someone truly desires freedom, they build skills. If someone truly desires mastery, they practice relentlessly. Desire reshapes priorities, and priorities reshape identity. Now here is something important. Desire is not loud motivation. It is quiet persistence. It is what keeps you going when inspiration fades. Motivation rises and falls. Desire remains. You can feel motivated today and discouraged tomorrow. But if desire is rooted deeply, you continue anyway. Ask yourself honestly, what do I truly desire? Not what sounds impressive, not what others expect, not what society promotes. What pulls you internally? What excites you when you imagine achieving it? What feels meaningful, not just attractive? Because borrowed desire fades quickly, but personal desire endures. When your goal is connected to your identity, energy increases naturally. You stop forcing effort. Effort becomes expression. Desire is powerful because it creates focus, and focus multiplies results. Without desire, discipline feels heavy. With desire, discipline feels purposeful. Without desire, obstacles feel unfair. With desire, obstacles feel necessary. Desire transforms struggle into training. Think of someone learning a new skill. If they are forced, they resist. If they desire mastery, they practice voluntarily. The action looks the same, but the energy is different. Desire turns obligation into opportunity. Now consider this. Many people say they want success, but do they desire the process? Do they desire the late nights, the repetition, the rejection, the slow progress? Because desire must include the journey, not just the outcome. If you only desire the reward, you quit during the work. But if you desire growth itself, you endure everything required. That is the shift. From desiring results to desiring development, because development is within your control. Results are not always immediate. Desire anchored in growth is unstoppable. You cannot control timing, but you can control effort. You cannot control every opportunity, but you can control preparation. And preparation is powered by desire. Take a breath. Feel this clearly. You do not need more motivation. You need deeper desire. Motivation is emotional. Desire is intentional. Motivation shouts. desire whispers steadily, and whispers can last a lifetime. In the next part, we will go deeper into the difference between weak wanting and burning desire, because that difference determines everything. Weak wanting versus burning desire. Take another slow breath. Now we go deeper. There is a dangerous illusion many people live in. They believe they want something, but they don't want it enough. And that difference between mild interest and burning desire is the difference between average and extraordinary. Weak wanting is comfortable. Burning desire is consuming. Weak wanting says, "That would be nice." Burning desire says, "That must happen." Weak wanting waits for the right mood. Burning desire creates momentum, regardless of mood. Most people operate from preference. I prefer to be successful. I prefer to be confident. I prefer to be financially free. Preference is optional. Desire is non-negotiable. When something becomes non-negotiable in your mind, your behavior shifts automatically. Think about survival. When you are hungry enough, you find food. When you are cold enough, you seek warmth. You do not debate it. You act. Burning desire creates that same internal urgency, not panic, but clarity. It removes alternatives. It removes escape routes. It removes the quiet permission to quit. Weak desire negotiates with discomfort. Burning desire accepts discomfort as the price. And here is the truth most people avoid. You do not rise to your goals. You fall to the level of your desire. If your desire is shallow, your effort will be shallow. If your desire is inconsistent, your discipline will be inconsistent. If your desire depends on external validation, your confidence will collapse under criticism. Burning desire does not depend on applause. It does not depend on recognition. It does not depend on instant results. It is internally driven. And because it is internal, it cannot easily be shaken. Now ask yourself something honestly. Where in your life are you casually interested instead of deeply committed? Is it your health, your craft, your business, your mindset? If you were truly committed, your habits would reflect it. Desire reveals itself through action, not words, not intentions, not future promises. Action. Weak desire says, "I'll start tomorrow." Burning desire says, "I start now." Weak desire says, "I hope this works." Burning desire says, "I will adapt until it works." Weak desire stops at the first obstacle. Burning desire studies the obstacle, learns from it, adjusts, and continues. Understand this clearly. Burning desire is not loud emotion. It is sustained direction. It is waking up on difficult days and still choosing progress. It is feeling doubt and still taking the next step. It is being tired and still honoring your commitment. You do not need to feel powerful every day. You need to be decided. Decision strengthens desire, and desire strengthens identity. There comes a moment in every transformation when you stop testing the goal and start embodying it. You no longer say, "I'm trying to get fit." You say, "I am becoming disciplined." You no longer say, "I hope to succeed." You say, "I am building success daily." That shift from hoping to owning is where desire matures. Burning desire is built through clarity. Vague goals produce weak energy. Specific vision produces powerful drive. If you say, "I want to be successful," your mind has no target. But if you say, "I will master this skill within 2 years," your focus sharpens. Clarity intensifies desire, and desire intensifies consistency. Here is something important. Burning desire does not mean obsession without balance. It means alignment. Your daily actions align with your long-term vision. You stop sabotaging yourself. You stop contradicting your own goals. You stop choosing comfort that weakens your future, because the future matters more. Weak wanting seeks immediate relief. Burning desire values long-term fulfillment. When you deeply desire growth, temporary discomfort becomes acceptable. Temporary embarrassment becomes acceptable. Temporary failure becomes acceptable, because the outcome is worth it. And here is a powerful realization. Burning desire is not born, it is developed. It grows when you visualize clearly, reflect consistently, commit publicly or privately. Remove distractions, study your craft daily. Desire strengthens with repetition. The more you feed it with action, the stronger it becomes. But the more you ignore it, the quieter it gets. Many people once had powerful desires, dreams that excited them, visions that kept them awake at night. But they diluted it with comparison, with distraction, with fear, with other people's opinions. Burning desire must be protected, and we will talk about protection later. For now, understand this. If your desire is weak, increase clarity. If your desire fades, reconnect to purpose. If your desire feels distant, take one bold action today. Action strengthens desire. Waiting weakens it. You do not become driven by thinking about success. You become driven by moving toward it. Every small step reinforces identity, and identity reinforces desire. Take a breath. Feel this truth. You already have desire inside you. It may be buried, it may be doubted, it may be quiet, but it is there. The question is not whether you desire more. The question is whether you are willing to let that desire demand more from you. Because burning desire will require new habits, new standards, new discipline, new boundaries. And that can feel uncomfortable, but comfort has never created greatness. Desire is the beginning, but intensity determines outcome. In the next part, we will go deeper into how desire shapes identity. Because what you repeatedly desire, you slowly become. Desire and identity. Now we go deeper. Desire does not just influence what you do, it influences who you become. Most people believe identity creates desire, but often it is the other way around. Desire shapes identity. What you repeatedly long for, what you consistently think about, what you emotionally attach to, begins to rewire how you see yourself. If you constantly desire comfort, you slowly identify as someone who avoids discomfort. If you constantly desire growth, you slowly identify as someone who seeks challenge. Identity is not fixed, it is constructed, and desire is one of the strongest architects. When desire is weak, identity stays small. When desire is bold, identity expands. Think about this carefully. Every action you take casts a vote for the type of person you believe you are. But what determines your actions? Your priorities. And what determines your priorities? Your desire. If you deeply desire discipline, you begin to act disciplined. If you deeply desire mastery, you begin to act like a student. If you deeply desire excellence, you begin to reject mediocrity. Over time, these actions accumulate, and accumulation becomes identity. You no longer force behavior. You become the behavior. That is power. There is a moment in every transformation when you stop chasing a goal and start embodying it. Instead of saying, "I want to be confident," you begin acting confidently, even before you feel it fully. Instead of saying, "I want to be strong," you train consistently, even when motivation is low. Identity is not built from feelings. It is built from repeated alignment with desire. Here is something most people miss. If your desire contradicts your current identity, you will feel internal resistance. If you see yourself as lazy but desire success, you will experience conflict. If you see yourself as average but desire greatness, you will experience doubt. That conflict is not a sign to stop. It is a sign you are evolving. Growth always feels unfamiliar. You are stepping beyond your current self-image, and your mind resists unfamiliar territory. But if the desire is strong enough, it pulls you forward anyway. This is why clarity matters so much. When your desire is vague, your identity stays vague. When your desire is defined, your identity begins to sharpen. Ask yourself, who must I become to achieve what I desire? Not what must I do. Who must I become? More patient, more disciplined, more courageous, more focused, more resilient. Desire is not about acquiring things. It is about transforming into someone capable. When you focus only on the outcome, you remain dependent on results. But when you focus on identity, results become a byproduct. If you desire financial freedom, you must become financially disciplined. If you desire influence, you must become valuable. If you desire strength, you must become consistent. The outcome follows the identity, and the identity follows desire. Now pause for a moment. What are you currently reinforcing? What identity are your daily actions strengthening? Are you reinforcing distraction or focus, excuses or accountability, comfort or growth? Be honest. Because desire without alignment creates frustration, but desire with alignment creates momentum. There is something powerful that happens when desire becomes part of who you are. You stop needing constant reminders. You stop needing external pressure. You stop relying on motivation. You act because it is natural. It is who you are. You do not debate whether to train. You train. You do not debate whether to work on your craft. You work. You do not debate whether to improve. You improve. Desire has fused with identity, and when that fusion happens, consistency becomes easier, not effortless, but natural. This is why protecting your desire is critical, because if your environment weakens it, your identity weakens with it. If you constantly compare yourself, your desire shifts toward validation. If you constantly seek approval, your desire shifts toward pleasing others. If you constantly consume distraction, your desire shifts toward instant gratification. Desire must be intentional, otherwise, it will be shaped by whatever surrounds you. And what surrounds you is powerful. The content you consume, the conversations you engage in, the standards you tolerate, all of it influences what you begin to want. And what you want determines who you become. So be deliberate. Feed your desire with growth. Feed it with discipline. Feed it with vision. Visualize not just the reward, but the version of you who earns it. See that version clearly. How do they think? How do they move? How do they speak? How do they respond to pressure? That version already exists in possibility. Desire is the bridge between who you are and who you could be. But bridges must be crossed. You cannot admire your future self from a distance. You must walk toward it, one action at a time, one decision at a time, one aligned day at a time. Take a slow breath, feel this deeply. You are not stuck. You are not limited to your current identity. You are shaped by what you repeatedly desire and consistently act upon. In the next part, we will talk about one of the biggest enemies of desire, distraction, because even powerful desire can be diluted if it is constantly divided. Desire versus distraction. Now we face one of the greatest threats to desire, distraction. Desire gives direction. Distraction divides it. And divided desire loses power. You can have talent, you can have opportunity, you can even have strong intention, but if your attention is constantly pulled away, your desire weakens over time. Distraction is subtle. It does not announce itself as destruction. It appears harmless. Scrolling for a few minutes, checking notifications, watching one more video, delaying one more task, choosing comfort just this once, but repeated small distractions fragment focus, and fragmented focus produces average results. Understand this clearly. Where attention goes, identity follows. If your attention constantly shifts, your progress constantly resets. Deep desire requires deep focus. You cannot build something meaningful while constantly consuming what is meaningless. Energy is limited, time is limited, attention is limited. Desire must be concentrated to be effective. Imagine sunlight. When scattered, it warms. When focused through a lens, it burns. Your desire is the same. Scattered desire warms intention. Focused desire creates transformation. Distraction is dangerous because it feels productive. You may feel busy, You may feel stimulated. You may feel entertained. But movement is not progress. Activity is not advancement. Ask yourself honestly, are you moving toward your desire? Or are you avoiding discomfort through distraction? Distraction often masks fear, fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of not being good enough. So instead of confronting the fear, you escape into noise. But every moment spent escaping is a moment not spent building. And over time, small escapes accumulate into regret. Here is a powerful truth. Desire grows in silence. Distraction grows in noise. If your life is constantly filled with noise, your desire struggles to breathe. This is why stillness is powerful. When you sit quietly, when you reflect, when you write your thoughts, your true desires become clearer. But when you constantly consume content, you begin adopting other people's desires. You start chasing what looks impressive, what looks fast, what looks easy, instead of what feels meaningful. Comparison and distraction often work together. You scroll, you compare, you doubt, you hesitate, your desire shrinks. And slowly, you begin settling. Not because you lack ability, but because your focus is diluted. Deep work requires deep commitment. If you truly desire something, you must protect time for it. Uninterrupted time, focused time, intentional time, without apology. That may mean fewer social interactions, fewer hours of entertainment, fewer instant pleasures. But in exchange, you gain depth, and depth creates mastery. Ask yourself, what is stealing my attention daily? Be specific. Is it social media, negative conversations, overthinking, unstructured time, comfort habits? Identify it. Because what you do not identify, you cannot control. Desire must be defended, and defense requires boundaries. Boundaries are not restrictions, they are protection. You are not limiting your life, you are focusing it. The most disciplined individuals are not necessarily the most motivated. They are the most protected. They guard their time, they guard their environment, they guard their standards. Because they understand something simple, distraction delays destiny. Every hour invested in distraction is an hour subtracted from growth, and the cost compounds. But here is the empowering part. Attention is trainable. Focus is buildable, just like strength. You start small, 30 minutes of deep work, then 1 hour, then 2. You remove one distraction at a time. You replace noise with clarity. And something powerful happens. Desire intensifies again, because progress fuels passion. When you see movement, your mind becomes more committed. Momentum feeds desire, and desire feeds momentum. It becomes a cycle, but you must initiate it. You must choose depth over distraction, and that choice will feel uncomfortable at first. Silence can feel unfamiliar. Focused effort can feel heavy. But discomfort is temporary. Regret lasts longer. Ask yourself this honestly. 5 years from now, what will matter more? Another 1,000 hours of distraction, or 5 years of focused desire? Time will pass either way. The difference is how you direct it. Take a slow breath. Your desire is not gone. It may just be buried under noise. Clear the noise. Reclaim your attention. Recommit to focus. In the next part, we will talk about how discipline becomes easier when desire is strong. Because discipline without desire feels like punishment, but discipline fueled by desire feels like purpose. Discipline fueled by desire. Discipline is not the enemy, it is the expression of desire. When desire is weak, discipline feels heavy. When desire is strong, discipline feels aligned. You don't wake up early because you love early mornings. You wake up early because you love what you're building. You don't train because it's comfortable. You train because you desire strength more than comfort. Discipline without desire feels forced, but discipline with desire feels purposeful. Every time you choose effort over excuses, you reinforce who you are becoming. And over time, discipline becomes identity, not something you do, something you are. desire through failure, and doubt. Desire is tested in difficulty. Anyone can want something when it's easy. True desire shows itself when things go wrong, when progress slows, when doubt appears, when results don't match effort. Weak desire retreats. Strong desire adapts. Failure does not destroy real desire, it refines it. If your desire disappears after one setback, it was interest, not commitment. But if you fall and still feel the pull forward, that is real. That is powerful. Let doubt visit. Just don't let it stay. Protecting your desire. Not everyone will understand your vision. Some will question it, some will laugh at it, some will project their limitations onto you. Protect your desire, not with arrogance, but with boundaries. Be careful who you share your goals with. Be intentional about what you consume. Be selective about what you tolerate. Desire grows in supportive environments and shrinks in negative ones. Guard it like something valuable, because it is. Becoming what you desire. Everything you desire requires transformation. You cannot remain the same and expect a different life. If you desire strength, become disciplined. If you desire success, become consistent. If you desire greatness, become uncomfortable. Stop asking, how do I get it? Start asking, who do I need to become? Because once you become that person, the results follow naturally. Desire is not about chasing endlessly. It is about evolving intentionally. Take one step today, not tomorrow, not someday, today. Because desire without action fades, but desire with action builds destiny.